Welcome to the Amazon Rainforest. We will be spending the next 4 days at the Refugio Amazonas, an eco-lodge located just outside of the Tambopata National Reserve. We make our way to the lodge, give you a tour of our unique accommodations, and experience the Amazon for the very first time. So getting here was no small feat today. We ended up getting up just after 3 o'clock in the morning in order to catch our 6 a.m. flight from Lima to Puerto Maldonado.
That sounds about right.
We weren't sure if we were going to be met at the airport that early in the morning because we were under the impression that we wouldn't get picked up by Rainforest expeditions until around noon.
Maybe, yeah.
But they were actually waiting for us just outside the airport. It must have been like 8:20. And then we went back to their main office right near the airport. It was like a 2-minute bus ride so that people could use the washroom, get any last minute items. And we got back on the same bus. And then we went an hour and a half about that to the river. And then we took a boat.
A boat.
I want to say it was between 45 minutes and an hour.
It could have been longer.
It could have been longer. It could have been shorter. It felt like it went by really fast, especially because we already saw so much wildlife on our way here. We saw
a caiman,
a white caiman, and we saw two capybara.
Yeah.
And it was great because they would just pull the boat over when something was seen. So that's why they say it could take 40 minutes. It could take an hour and a half. Because if they see something cool, they pull over and they wait for you to take your photos, take your videos. It was great, and our guide, Dennis, was wonderful because he used his binoculars and took our phones and everything to get close-up shots of all of the animals.
Oh, that was really nice.
We also saw a couple of really cool birds, one of them being the king vulture. And it was like this white bird and it had kind of a colorful beak. And it was very large and they were eating something. We couldn't tell what it was.
And then we got here and it was a quick walk. They just kind of pull in, you jump off the boat. You don't take your bags with you. And then it was probably a quick 5-10 minute walk here.
Yeah, just up a pathway through the forest, which was pretty nice. Oh my gosh, you're here.
And then you show up, you get tea.
Then we watched this 7-minute introductory video that just kind of told you all the ins and outs of staying at the lodge, safety things.
Homes are designed to connect you with the Amazon, being friendly with the forest. Because the open window, sometimes you could have different type of insects in your room. You could find also a frog or maybe an opossum.
Then afterwards, after the video was done, they split you off into your little groups.
So it's just going to be Dave and myself, and then I think another couple that's arriving a little bit later today. So it'll just be the 4 of us, I think, with our guide Dennis, which was great because he's the one we connected with on the boat.
And they just showed us the different activities, and we could choose any of them that we wanted. They were all included. I think there's probably 10 different activities.
At least, yeah.
And there's nighttime walks and daytime hikes and trail camera stuff and
the Canopy Towers.
There's tons of stuff here.
Sunset cruises. So we basically just said, whatever the best stuff is, that's what we want to do, and we want to cram in as much as possible. I think this afternoon we're doing the Overlook Trail, which is a shorter trail to an overlook. So we've just arrived at our room here at the Refugio Amazonas, and we're going to do a quick little room tour before lunchtime. So when you first come into the room, there's a nice little sitting area. They always have fresh water in your room, and you also have a fridge for any drinks or anything else that you want to keep cold. The beds are actually very comfortable, and we have, I think they're queen size. So we've got 2 in the room. I've already called this one. Dave's welcome to share this one, or he can sleep.
I just don't mind sleeping next to the missing wall. So.
Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that could come in and try and eat you?
They gave us a whistle.
You will find a whistle. Please use it in case of emergency.
I don't know where our whistle is.
We'll find it.
But we do have an emergency whistle somewhere in case of jaguars or large spiders, I guess. Speaking of bugs, we already have an additional guest, some kind of grasshopper. He's got pretty large wings. And then we've got 3 hanging lights, which offer a lot of extra light in the room, which is nice. But as soon as the sun goes down, you want to keep all of the lights off so we don't end up with all of the bugs from the Amazon inside our room. Each of the rooms also has a safe for you to store any of your important valuables. So also draped from all of the beds are these nice thick mosquito nets, and they'll come in the evenings and put them down for us for nighttime, and hopefully that'll keep the majority of all the critters out of the beds themselves while we're sleeping in them. Now the highlight of the room, if you look past the hammock, is the clothesline where our very wet socks are currently hanging. Okay, but really the hammock, but we're gonna do a quick little spider check. Oh.
Does it feel comfortable?
It does if I kind of like cocoon like this. Yeah, I could fall asleep. And last but not least, we have the bathroom. So the first thing I noticed when we first walked in here is the fact that you can actually just see down through the floor. And we might be in the middle of the Amazon, but we still have a flush toilet, so that's nice. And then the shower. There's hot water available 24/7, so you can have a nice hot shower anytime you're feeling like it. They also have ready for you a bunch of eco-friendly products. We've got shampoo, liquid soap, and conditioner. So we just had our first meal here at the lodge, and it was so good.
It was very good.
The food was incredible. There was so much variety. Dave let them know in advance that I can't have gluten or dairy, and I don't know if this is just the menus that they normally do, but I could basically eat everything except the bread and mashed potatoes. But there was like probably 10 different options of things that you could have, and it all tasted incredible. Well, it's raining pretty hard at this point, but we're heading to the main lodge to go meet our guide Dennis to go and do some sort of activity this afternoon. And here comes Dave, decked out in all his rain gear.
I was promised 30-degree weather. And now I'm dressed up in the gear that we're supposed to be wearing for sub-zero temperatures in the mountains of Bolivia.
We each pulled on a pair of rain boots provided by the lodge and set off on a short, easy hike on the Overlook Trail. We learned all about the castanha tree, commonly known as the Brazil nut tree. They're one of the largest trees in the Amazon, and the seed pods can weigh over 4 pounds. Our favorite, though, was the walking palm, whose roots can grow several feet above the ground. This allows the tree to slowly move towards the sunlight by growing new roots in the direction of the sun and letting the older roots die off. All right, so someone just came in to put down our mosquito nets for the night. We'd been sitting in the dark with trying not to attract all the bugs. But luckily, he just came by and put our nets down, and they've tucked them down right in under the mattress. And Dave is now going to demonstrate how to get inside.
It's a very tiny hole.
You can see mine over here, and my bed's a mess because I've already been lying in it under the blankets because it is only 15 degrees. I definitely thought it was going to be warmer. And it's supposed to warm up, I think, tomorrow. And there we go. I suddenly feel much safer, at least from bugs. I don't think this is going to keep out any larger critters, but hopefully we just don't see any of those until morning. We've just finished up breakfast and we're heading back to our room to hang out for a little bit, and we have about half an hour until we need to meet at the front lobby to go on our first adventure for the day. This first adventure will be to the Macaw Clay Lick. Dennis is making time this morning. Oh, there he is.
He's so tiny.
In this part of the Tamarins, we have here 7 species.
These are army ants?
Yes.
Oh yeah, look at the head on that one.
Oh my gosh, look at him.
Yeah, that's huge.
He heard someone's at a rank over here and he's gonna, yeah, he's like, come back. Yeah, back over here. So we've just arrived at the Macaw Clay Lick and we're gonna, it's about 40 minutes to 60 minutes to see if anybody shows up.
Let's hope.
So no luck at the Macaw Clay Lick, but we're going to see if we can spot some more monkeys on our way back to the lodge.
Normally, we found here 2-3 different species of the armadillos.
So after almost 3 hours, we're just about back to the lodge to take a break and hopefully have a snack. We didn't see any more monkeys on our way back from the Macaw Lick, but we did hear some brown capuchin monkeys, and we saw a blue and yellow macaw, which was really cool. Some tea and some cake for snacks.
Let me just try one of these things that you can't have.
I know. How's it?
It looks like a lemon something.
So after a shower and having a delicious lunch, we came to meet our guide just around 2:30. So we have a lot of activities we're getting to this afternoon. We're cramming 3 in when normally we would just do 1. However, before we even started right next to the lodge, there was like at least 8, if not more, monkeys. So we've just spent about 20 to 30 minutes watching all of them, just jumping between the trees. Most of them were your black tamarin monkeys, which are the same as the ones that we saw earlier today. But then right at the end, we saw like kind of more reddish brown one. And I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I'll put it up on the screen. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. And our guide, he gets the best footage through binoculars. We've all been trying to do it too, and it's a lot harder than it looks. But yeah, he's just got some incredible footage of their little monkey faces, and oh, this is already the best day. So the first of the 3 activities we're going to do this afternoon is hiking up the Canopy Tower. I don't think it's too far of a walk from the lodge. And then we'll be climbing up, I want to say he said like 37 meters or something. It's high, but that's where we're heading to first. Good, I'm not at all scared of heights.
how high up are we right now?
37.
37 meters? That's pretty high.
We are in the canopy levels.
There's just so many different sounds.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know what any of
I
that
don't know what any of it is. They're currently looking at a harpy eagle, which we have a photo of, but it's really hard to see. It's like way back on these trees.
Want to get me in the hatch?
I can get you going down the hatch for sure.
Because
Any final words? Oh, Dave, I don't think I got it. Can you climb back up?
Are you serious?
This may or may not be take 2, because I didn't hit record. Go ahead, Dave. This is much better the second time.
Oh, perfect. Oh, you're coming down?
Yeah.
All right. Come on down. I love the wobble to the entire tower.
It was great. Yeah, we saw a harpy eagle and a roadside hawk from a distance. It was pretty cool. And yeah, I'm terrified of heights, but
Yeah, I'm not great with heights either.
we pushed through because I just knew that it would be great to get up there and see.
And it was a pretty good tower. I'm 6'4", and there's only one spot I think I would have hit my head on.
Yeah.
So, which was
And
the
I
very
think it
end.
was the very end what he was telling everyone to be careful about. So yeah, no, that was cool.
It actually kind of feels steady,
Yeah, right?
which is pretty good for a tower held together by what feels like scaffolding.
Scaffolding, a hope and a prayer.
Yeah.
So the harpy eagle is one of the top predators here in this part of the Amazon, and they like to eat monkeys, unfortunately, among other things. But their favorite is apparently a brown monkey and a black spider monkey. Now that we've seen that type of eagle, which was pretty cool, we're going to look at a nest of a crested eagle. It's apparently very nearby, and there's supposed to be a little chick inside the nest. We don't know whether or not we'll see the adult, but the chick is definitely going to be there because it hasn't learned to fly yet. So we're just heading into the blind to watch the crested eagle and check out the crested eagle little chick. How old do you think he is, the chick?
Almost 3 months.
Almost 3 months.
Yeah.
What age did you say they can fly?
They're not sure, which is why they're both studying.
No way. Oh, that's so cool. So we just sat and watched the Crested Eagle Chick for, I couldn't tell you how long. It feels like we were there for quite a bit. It's so little, and just as we were about getting ready to leave, it started to spread its wings and flap its wings a lot right up near the edge, and we thought it was going to take off. And the researcher that was there watching him said that was the first time that they had seen him do that. So he might be ready to take off soon. They don't know. They think the baby's about 3 months old. They started watching it in April when a guide first noticed the nest, but they actually don't know what age crested eagles leave the nest, and that's why someone is there doing the research.
This is the limit of the National Reserve Tambopata. Now, when you cross this pipe, for example, this is the border, and we're going inside the National Reserve Tambopata. We're basically Condenado Lake, yeah? White-throated toucans.
White-throated toucan.
He sounds so close.
If you sit here, this part, for example, this is still the Tambopata River. And this is the buffer zone. Some people use just for make a farm in this area. Yeah, and the green one is the National Reserve Tambopata, and the yellow part is National Park Baguaja Sonero. Also, the another predator in this area is the caimans and anaconda. Welcome to the Condenado Lake.
So this is the bird we're currently looking at in the trees.
What is the fish? Sardines or piranha. Our local people can here from Puerto Maldonado is like
They catch it so fast. So we just got back to our room after our full day of activities, and the first thing that happens when we get inside the room is Dave comes over to turn on one of the lights, and something runs up the cord up into the ceiling, and he thought maybe it was like a squirrel or something. It was a squirrel sized. Well, it was a squirrel size. And so this is the light. So whatever it was sitting on top here, and then it ran up the cord all the way up into the like wire mesh ceiling. So there's no actual like ceiling in here. There's still a roof. I'm gonna say these are two different things. There's a roof that covers the entirety of the building, but there's no actual like ceiling to our room. So it's still very open. Anyways, there's enough space for something to wiggle its way through there. So some squirrel-sized creature was in our room, and we just thought that was pretty funny. Okay, so now we've gotten back from having dinner, and what's funny is while we were sitting in the lounge area, we saw what we later learned was a four-eyed possum run across the rafters up in their ceiling, and we're like 99% sure that's what was in our bedroom. What makes that even funnier is that during the introductory video that you watch when you first arrive at the lodge, they make a comment about how you might find, you know, some bugs or maybe even a possum in your room.
You could find also a frog maybe and a possum.
And you know, everyone laughs like, oh haha, like that'd be funny. And now it's actually happened. So that is not false advertising. You may actually get a possum in your room. Even though we had already done 4 activities today, we were still planning to do a night walk this evening. We've decided against it, partially because we already basically did like an impromptu night hike on our way back from our afternoon activities because it got really dark. So we ended up seeing a scorpion and a couple of tarantulas. The one type that we did see was the black chicken tarantula. Absolutely massive, very creepy, and a few other bugs like bullet ants, which are really venomous.
for example, if you bite, it's very, very painful. 24 hours in total.
All right, well, let me get past it then. Because I'm standing right here.
Yeah, sorry.
And wandering spiders, also very venomous.
And he's attacking.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at this inject for the heart that indicate chelicity. Is it? Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really cool night hike that we already basically did. So that, coupled with the fact that we have to be up at 3:30 in the morning for an activity we're doing first thing tomorrow, we decided that it was going to make more sense for us just to go to bed and get as much sleep as possible, and then we can always do more of a night hike tomorrow night. So that's basically it for today. We're going to head to bed now and be up in 7 hours or so, maybe less at this point, and it's still going to be pitch black, and we're going to be heading out on a boat for a 2-hour boat ride to get to the El Cusco Clay Lick, I believe is what it's called, where we're supposed to see macaws and other birds. Really looking forward to it. Today already went above and beyond my expectations, so I'm really curious to see how tomorrow goes. Tomorrow is our last full day, so we're pretty excited and also pretty exhausted, so it's now time for bed.
So it's currently 4:15 in the morning, and we are making our way to the boats, and then from there we should be on to a 2-hour boat trek up to a Macaw Clay Lick. This may be the first day that we actually have some warmth, and it should be the first day that we actually have some sun.
just had a 2-hour boat ride. Started in the pitch black and we saw the sunrise as we were on our way here. And now we're just walking over to go set up spots to watch the Macaw Clay Lick. We had heard from another couple a couple days ago that when they went, they didn't actually get to see much of anything. I think based on the weather, as it was really rainy and cloudy that day. But this is the first day we've actually seen sun, like full sun, since we've been in Peru, let alone the forest. So really looking forward to hopefully seeing some pretty birds. And yeah, it's so gorgeous out. And I believe in a little bit we'll also be having breakfast here before we head back. This one right here? Blue-headed parrot. So we've just finished up at the Clay Lick and we saw a couple of other birds as well. We saw a orange-cheeked parrot and a yellow-crested parrot. So that was pretty neat. We didn't actually see any macaws. It's not macaw season, so it's pretty rare to see them right now. But when it's actually the high season for them, you can see up to 100 at a time at the Clay Lick, which would be pretty incredible to see. But we did see lots of parrots and a couple parakeets as well, so that was pretty neat. And now we're just heading back over to have some breakfast here before we head back out on the boat to go do some more wildlife spotting on our way back to the lodge.
Alright, so we just finished eating, and now Jess and I are going to go find a bush to pee in.
Yes, we are. And the food was pretty darn good. There was omelet, which was really good. I think I had like 4 helpings of that. And there was some breads and avocado.
Avocado,
there was some ham.
Yeah. There was coffee.
Coffee, and they had lactose-free milk, which was excellent.
Now the question is,
where do we pee where no one else has peed before?
I'll report back. Jess is peeing in the bush. Where's Waldo? There she is.
There's a caiman right there. This is the second white speckled caiman that we've seen in the last couple of minutes. We just left the other one. This one's got his mouth open. Now we're looking at about 7 or 8 capybara. That was a full 6-hour excursion that started at just after 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's maybe 10:15 now, and we're just returning back to the lodge. So it was incredibly dark in the morning, obviously. It's only 4 o'clock. So when we got on the boat, they mentioned, okay, like everyone's got to turn off their headlamps so that the driver can see. And we're thinking, okay, because there was a spotter at the front of the boat, that he would have a light on. No, as soon as we started going, it was just basically pitch black. There was some light from the moon maybe, but the drivers just have the river basically memorized. What did our guide say? It's like they have the GPS in their head and they just know the twists and turns and where it gets shallow. They did occasionally use a spotlight to check for, you know, obstacles and where the
stick to check depth.
Yeah, to find the channels that they could go through. And sometimes it was narrow where you could actually drive the boat. After a little while, maybe an hour, the sun started coming up very slowly. And you could just kind of see the sky turning like a pinky red. We watched the sunrise from the boat as we were moving along, and it was just beautiful. So colorful, and it just came up so slowly. It was gorgeous. It was worth fighting to stay awake for. It was hard to stay awake at times because it was just such a quiet, dark ride.
Even today it was supposed to be 30 degrees Celsius. And in the morning it was probably 15.
Yeah, so we were completely like layers upon layers. I even brought the blanket from my bed, which they recommend that you do. And I used it. It was cold, especially once the boat started going. Now, by the time we got back, it's already up to like 26, 27 degrees.
Yeah, around there.
And even once we were just eating breakfast around 8 in the morning, it was hot, just sitting in the sun to eat. And then the boat ride back was great because it's getting hot, and with the breeze from there, it was just the perfect temperature. And most people had fallen asleep on the way back, Dave included. Now we're just getting back to the lodge, hopefully have a snack, and see what the plan is before we have lunch at 1.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets nice and sunny and hot outside, all the bugs come out. So Dave's currently got 2 butterflies flying around his bed. So we took a 30-minute boat ride from the lodge in the opposite direction than what we had gone this morning. And now we're just watching the sunset before we head back on the boat back to the lodge. I don't know if you can hear all of the birds and bugs and everything buzzing in the background, but I feel like the lower the sun gets, the louder the rainforest gets. And the sky is just starting to get that purple-pink hue to it as the sun goes down. It's so peaceful. Today was perfect weather, and it's been the absolute best last day that we could have. That's the blunt head tree snake. We're just about to head out for the final activity of our time here at the Refugio Amazonas, and it's going to be a discovering new species activity and a bit of a night hike. How poisonous are these guys?
Yes.
Studying this group of moths. They are tiger moths. How can we recognize, for example, this kind of moths? If we turn down the plate, we can see they have the heart shape on their wings. So that's an easy way to recognize them. For example, this one is a tiger moth. We see the heart shape. So to collect it, yes, you have to put the jar. If the moth doesn't move, so you can move it a little bit the jar and then put immediately the lid. And that's it. But each year we can collect between 10 or 12 moths. And just to relieve any bug anxiety, do any of these guys bite? No. No? No, the moths don't bite. The moths don't bite. Oh, that light's warm. So as someone who's normally quite freaked out by bugs, the fact that I know that they don't bite is a huge plus, because now I just don't mind them just landing. Except on my face, maybe. So I think I got him. I may have gotten more than one. More chances to find a new one.
And then now that he's been caught, what happens?
Well, he's going to sleep forever.
Okay. And then does it get sent out somewhere, or does someone come here?
A few days I'm going to send the samples from the last month to Lima, really, to the Natural History Museum. There is working an entomologist. He's specialized on moths, these tiger moths. So he's going to select from all those samples which one is going to be the possible new one. And then he has to send these samples to Guelph University in Canada. Guelph? Yeah. That's right where we live. We live right near there.
We can just pack it up.
Yeah, well, just what do you need us to take anything for you? Yeah. By this university, because they produce the DNA barcode. Through this, we can know which one can be the new. If they're actually unique, a unique finding.
So I just put it over top, and then wait a second.
Yeah, it looks like he's in there.
Yeah, he's making his rounds.
You got him. I think this guy is one of my favorite ones. I've always got to pick up one creepy looking bug. Why is it important for guests at the lodge to be helping with the discovering new species? People don't consider, for example, like the insects are not important, but they are. The main stuff is because they are pollinators. Through them, basically, we are eating as much as we can, as we want. They can be really good bioindicators about the Amazon in general. For example, when they are caterpillars, they need a specific plant to survive. What happens if that plant is not exist anymore because of the deforestation or many stuff? So that means that moth is going to disappear.
So this is a moth?
Yeah, it is a moth. We can see the feathery antenna. That's a key to recognize them, for example. So it's our last morning here at the lodge, and we got up around 6:15 and had to pack everything up and put our bags outside our room for the porters to come and grab to take to the boats. And now it's almost 7, and we're just heading to have some breakfast before we head out. So now we're just making the final descent down the stairs to the boats before taking the 1-hour ride back to Philadelphia, the port, where we'll then grab the bus back to the airport. And it was great. We just saw a bunch of monkeys just before we got to the stairs. So it was a perfect little send-off from the lodge. After a very quick flight, we've just landed in Cusco, and now we've hopped in an Uber and we're heading to our hotel. We are both already experiencing the effects of either altitude sickness and or the Diamox that we're taking for the altitude, or quite possibly both. Ever since we got off the plane though, the symptoms I was having from the Diamox feel like they've gotten worse. My mouth is all feeling like pins and needles in my hands, and we're both shaking a little bit and have like chattering teeth, even though we're not cold. It's obviously a bit of a shock to the system when you're not used to being at altitude. We stayed at the Explora Hostel Cusco with our own economy double room that had bunk beds and also included all linens and towels, and there were some lockers there for us to lock up our valuables. We also had access to a shared washroom facility that was right around the corner from our room. So we've checked into our hotel and we lay down for about 10-15 minutes just to try and deal with the wave of altitude sickness that kicked in. And now we've taken an Uber to the center square and we're going to go and try and do some money exchange to change some USD to soles. And then we're going to go drop off our laundry that we need to get done and then find some food because we're
hungry,
pretty starving.
I think it's 100 if you want to count. 376. Got a rate of 98.31, so very good exchange. So we just went and exchanged some money. We've tried a couple different places in Peru so far, but at ATMs. The ATM fee is really high. You get charged from your bank. They also want to take an extra like $10 Canadian just to withdraw any amount of money. So we passed on that. So we found a place called Exchange Corner, and their rate was the best we've seen yet. So we exchanged $100 US. Once all the fees and everything were taken out of that, it only cost us $1.70 USD. So almost a straight conversion, which is incredible.
So Dave found this laundry place on Google Maps and it had really great reviews and really quick turnaround times.
So let's see if we can get our laundry done today.
So we had just over 4 kilos of laundry and there were 2 options we could choose from. So faster, which would be done in 3 hours, that was going to cost $20 Canadian or 60 soles. Instead, we chose to go with the little bit longer service, so it'll be ready by 4 p.m. tomorrow, and that ended up costing us 33 soles or $11 Canadian. So Dave has a list of a few different foods and drinks that he's wanted to try while we're in Peru, and we're finally trying one of the drinks. It's called chicha morada, and it's made of like a purple corn and lime, and it looks pretty interesting. So this is the drink here, kind of foamy on the top, very opaque.
I didn't realize this was see-through.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the top is colored.
Oh.
But this is actually all drink that you're seeing.
I'm gonna try it, and then maybe I'll hold off on telling you what I think until you try it.
Oh, perfect.
Kind of nervous. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's pureed corn or juiced corn.
I assume one of those.
Okay, it smells good though. Okay, it's shockingly good.
Are you lying to me?
I don't know how to describe it.
Does it taste like corn?
No. Try some.
Okay, now I have to smell it first too.
Now the question
I don't know how to describe that.
Now the question is, am I lying to you? Do I need to try it?
I hope not. It's not bad. I personally probably wouldn't order it again, just because I don't fully enjoy it. But it's not terrible. I don't know why I get, maybe it's just the color, but it's making me think of like beets,
Maybe.
like beet juice.
If you were to juice some corn and drink it.
It doesn't taste like corn.
That's what I'm saying. So as far as
But I don't know what to compare it to.
it's
like
kind
pomegranate?
of like, it's kind of like pomegranate or like a cranberry juice or something.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's just corn and lime.
I'll drink that. So that's decent.
It's growing on me.
First thing you said, I never get this again.
I never get this again. I don't know, I'm quick to judge.
Yeah.
Our food's just arrived and I got a chicken curry. It's got obviously chicken in it and white rice with vegetables.
So you have Jess's meal. Pretty basic.
And beautiful. Check out the flowers.
Then we have my meal. As you can see here, his name was Philip. I ordered half a guinea pig. I wasn't sure if they were gonna give me the butt or the head. It turns out they just split them straight down the middle. I mean, I'm gonna eat them. I don't know how. This is also quite expensive. But I felt like, you know what, if I'm gonna get half a guinea pig, I should probably eat it in a nicer restaurant.
I'm gonna do my taste test first. Ooh, it smells good. I also got it absolutely no spice. You can get no spice, medium spice, or very spicy. I'm not a spice person. It's good. That's very good.
Would you say it's unreal?
It is pretty unreal, to be honest. The chicken's very nicely done. It's like moist. It feels like you're just like falling apart. I'm excited to dig into all these vegetables and the rice too. How are you feeling about your decision right now before having...
I think if I knew how to eat them, Philip that is, then I'd feel a bit better about it, but I don't know how to. First off, I'm gonna try potatoes. It's easiest.
Ease yourself into it. While Dave figures out how to eat this thing, let's watch me eat some more.
This thing, Jess, it has a name.
Some zucchini. See, the thing I like about the chicken dish that I got is that it doesn't still look like an actual whole chicken. Hold on, Dave's got something happening over here.
We've got half of his bone. Crispy, a little bit of flavor. It's really good. Tastes like dark meat chicken.
So would you say it's worth getting, or would you just get chicken next time?
I mean, I got this as something I wanted to get to kind of see because it's like a iconic
Traditional food?
traditional Cusco dish. Would I get it again? No.
No.
Am I happy I got it this one time? Sure.
Moderately.
I mean,
I wonder
we'll make it work.
how much meat is actually on it, like how filling it's gonna be.
From the looks of it, not very. I'm just gonna pick at it and then I'll report back with any
Developments.
developments on the guinea pig. And this mushroom is mine.
So dark.
Oh, I got a headache now.
Join us in the next video as we experience our first full day in Cusco, taking in as many sights, flavors, and altitude meds as possible. And I was basically doubled over at the top trying to catch my breath, so I'm really glad that we're taking a few days to try and acclimate to the altitude before starting the Inca trek.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady.
We'll make it.
My heart is pounding.